So we're doing our roundtables now, and we're doing them public facing with the team. So we're pretty excited about that. Our goal is to do these roundtables monthly to educate around financial literacy and owning a business. And our goal here is to help business owners really understand finances better and how we can help. So typically on these, we're hoping that people will submit questions, and that's what these roundtables will typically be about. But if we don't have any questions, we'll start out with, our planned, like some planned content, and then the questions will come around that. So just let me introduce the team to you, just in case you don't know everyone. So for me, my name is Michelle Mitchell, and I am the CEO and founder of Mitchell Consulting, and I get to work with all of these lovely people on the team. And we have Evan Asher, who is our lead accountant, and he has been with us for 5 years now. Then we have Eric. Eric is our bookkeeper, and he has been with us a year now, so that's pretty exciting.
I know.
A little bit over a year. Yeah.
Over a year.
Yeah, over a year. And then we have Lauren, and Lauren has been with us in the bookkeeping role for about 2.5 years. She joined us in June full-time as our new business advisor. So this is our team that we will be working with and who will be helping you reach your financial goals. So if you guys want to say a little bit about yourselves, that would be great. We can start with Evan. Oh, we have another person joining.
Sure. Yeah, kind of like Michelle said, I've been here for 5 years. I think coming on 6 pretty soon.
Yeah.
And it started at like a 3-hour a week kind of role, and here I am now, like as accounting supervisor in a now public forum that we're hosting, which is really cool. I've seen a lot of growth in this business the whole time I've been here, which has been really amazing to be a part of and witness. So I feel really happy and like honored to be part of the before I was doing just more odds and ends bookkeeping stuff, and now I think we're operating much more as a unit, as a team. So it's awesome to be part of this growth and also to see what we can start to provide to our clients as we continue to grow forward.
Eric.
I'm Eric. I've been here, as you heard, for a little over a year now. I guess as Evan has moved up, I've sort of replaced him in doing the bookkeeping odds and ends and majority of the bookkeeping type of work. Really the gist of what I do. I'm the guy who does all the stuff behind the scenes, I guess, and then I give it all to Evan, and then Evan makes the big boy decisions and makes everything correct. Or he's also who I call when I run into problems. He is my knight in shining armor, or knight in plaid shirt, I guess I should say. And that's it for me.
Lauren.
Hello, I'm Lauren. As Michelle said, I joined the company full-time in June as a business advisor. My background is in public accounting, and then I moved into internal audit for about 12 years. So I'm left the corporate space to be at Mitchell Consulting, and it's super exciting to get to work with our clients and help them to grow and scale. It's really a great passion, and I'm honored and blessed, kind of like Evan said, to just be a part of this team and to see where we're going and to see how we can help more people. So welcome. Thank you guys for coming. Glad to be here.
So we have with us today Liz. Liz kind of knows our business quite a bit. And then Sherry just joined us. So if you want to introduce yourself, you can. You don't have to. But then we'll just get started.
I'm Liz. I own a marketing business. We serve nonprofits. Yeah, I've been in business for 5 years, and yeah, Mitchell Consulting is one of the reasons my business is successful today. So
Yay! I love hearing that. Sherry, would you like to introduce yourself? No? Okay, just a minute. She's like moving around. Oh, you're muted.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Hi, sorry.
That's okay.
Oh my goodness. Hi, my name is Sherry Goodall. I own the SCG company, which is a marketing consulting business. I also do a little bit of business management. And I run a professional networking group. And I'm happy to be here because I want to learn more and begin working with Miss Michelle Mitchell. So here we are.
Well, thank you for joining us, Sherry. So we just went around and introduced the team, but we're going to go ahead and get started for the sake of time. And our Zoom link wasn't valid for whatever reason. I don't know. So people are probably confused about where to go. But anyway, we're going to go with what we got. So today, I really want this to be an open forum, but I thought we would talk about today a mid-year review of your financials, because we are, coming to the close of summer, and I know people get distracted during the summer. So this is just to help you get refocused on your business and your financials so that you're ready to going into the busiest time of the year, which is Q4 and the super quarter, because everybody is working really hard to meet their financial goals. And you've probably been a little laxed for the summer. And this is just to help you get refocused and to get a idea of a game plan going forward on what you should be doing in your business. So we can start by talking about why it's important for you to pay attention to your financials. One, at the beginning of the year, you probably set a financial goal, and that financial goal would probably, you either did it one of two ways. I'm going to grow a certain percentage over what I did last year, or you're going to make a very lofty goal, like I'm going to hit $1 million, right? People just pull a number out of their hat and they want to hit a certain financial goal, but really don't have a strategy on how to get there. So what we're going to talk about today is some of the key things you need to be thinking about, and then bridging that gap between where you thought you wanted to end up in the year in January, and now we're at mid-year, and we still have some runway to go before the year is over. So how can we bridge that gap between where we thought we would be and where we're going to go financially? And then we're going to talk about do some clarification about how financial consultants can help you in that process, and what do you need at what stage, at each stage of your business. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So I'll set it off like, are we meeting our goals yet? Yay or nay? Are we surpassing them? Are we on target for them financially? And then where do you think you are as far as, where you see the gap in your own business? You don't have to give numbers, but I just want to get a feel for what that looks like for you, because I know from experience what it looks like in other businesses. So I'm just curious.
I was just looking. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I guess, yeah. So for me, I'm definitely not on my goals. And I need to figure out I already know this year is going to be a loss just because of circumstances.
Mhm.
But I want to still figure out how to make some profit in the remaining months.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's probably what I would say.
Okay, cool.
I made a pretty big shift in my business after the first quarter. And so I adjusted my goals after that. So I am on track to meet my goal, according to, projections, but I do, just have a lot of questions, a lot of other, like, other things, because I feel like my goal, like you were saying, like we pick a random number or we pick a random growth percentage. And that's what I was doing this year. Once I made a shift, I was like, basically like, how do we just pay the bills and keep everybody employed?
Right.
So yeah, I want to have a little bit more strategy behind my goal setting there, because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to meet my goal, but what does that really
Right.
mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I believe you should be in business to reach your personal financial goals, because otherwise, why are you in business and not have a job, right? I know one of the draws is you have your own flexibility, but you have your own flexibility at sometimes at the detriment of not having a schedule, like, so you have that flexibility and freedom, but also you need to meet this financial goal. And when you are reviewing your financials, you need a system in order to do it systematically, right? So you know that you're capturing all of the data, the financial data in your business, so that when you're ready to review your numbers and like look at what's driving revenue, what's making that revenue come in, is it like, am I making profit when that revenue comes in, or is it costing me more to deliver those services than what I think? And a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we feel like, oh yeah, we're making profit, but when you actually look at your bank account, is it there, right? Is it there, or are you spending it all? So this is where our team can help you and come in and make sure that you actually have the data. So that's what Eric and Evan does. They make sure you have the data you need so that your reports are accurate, and we can start analyzing that data. So when it comes to analyzing that data, Evan really does the month-end review, and he talks to clients about, okay, so this is what your financial statement is. This is where you are. Like, he does an analysis, a basic analysis of where your spending categories are and where the variances are, what he sees in different categories of expenses, whether they're up or down, and trying to get an understanding from the client what that means for them, where they're trying to go. Because if our operations is not efficient and where our expenses are too high, we're not going to get profit out at the end of the day, right? That net profit is going to either not be there or be very little, right? I did hear Sherry say she had circumstances this year, which means that like life does get in the way when you're a business owner. And when you're a business owner and you are the only one bringing in revenue, and you're out for a minute for whatever reason that could be, you still have those operational expenses you need to pay, even though like you're not generating any extra revenue because of personal reasons or personal circumstances causing you not to be able to do that. So then what do you do? What, like, when you know this, like Liz had to readjust her goal and Sherry had circumstances, you know, in her life this year that's causing her finances to look out of whack. So how can we help you? So as like Lauren is one of our business advisors along with myself, like we can help you strategize on how you need to make the pivot or shift in some kind of way so we can bridge that gap so you're not losing profit at the end of the day. So that's what our team can help you do. But some of the ways we would like to like go in here with is some of the questions like that Liz has or Sherry. Like how do we do this, right? How do we do it? And then I can have the team chime in where they see fit to answer some of the questions. So go for it, Liz.
Okay, so one of my questions is in regards to like I've built up some like my payroll account. And so I have some money in there, and now I'm like, okay, how do I use the profit that I've built up well to grow my business? And so specifically in the area of payroll, right? I know this has been like, I had lots of conversations with Michelle over the years, so I know this is like a thing. But it's like you can either hire someone when you don't have the work and then have them help, build the work up for their position, or take on almost like too many projects and then hire when you're like below water, basically. And so right now I am not below water and I don't, but so I'm just trying to figure out like how to grow my team or how to use the finances I have available to either bolster my current team or to grow my team. And then like, what kind of indicators, what questions should I be asking, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Okay. I have experience with this because I also, in my own business, I do the profit first concept which is, we call it the small plate accounting, where we're setting aside funds every month so that we can reinvest into people, right? So that we can reinvest into people, whether it's hiring people or investing in the current people we have and helping them gain more skill. So those are the two ways, or you can add technology. So you can increase the rate of efficiency in your business by either adding technology, improving the skills of the current team you have, or hiring a new person. So I've had to do all of those in my own business. Evan stated like he started working for me at 5 hours a week because that's all I could afford. And now he's our accounting supervisor, like he leads the accounting team. Lauren started out as a part-time bookkeeper. Like I had one client for her to work on, and that's what she did. So, and now she's on as a full-time employee. Eric came on as a part-time employee, so I did it in increments. So you got to decide how big you want your team first, and then decide, are the people that I currently have, do they have the skills or the capability and the desire to do something different? Or do I need to go out and hire someone else? So that's the question I think you should be asking yourself. And if you've made that decision, like, which way do you want to go? Because you don't have to hire someone full-time. You do not. I mean, I'm proof of that. So Evan, he started out as a contractor. Lauren started out as a contractor. So I did it in increments using contracted work, but they fit so well into the culture of Mitchell Consulting that it made sense to pour into those individuals. So I've used the funds that I had set aside, not only to pour into them, but also increase their workload, which alleviated work on my plate. But I had to be able to look at all the things that I was doing that I could shift to someone else without clients being impacted. And that's how I made that decision. So have you decided whether it's technology, investing in your current team, or adding another person? Have you made that decision yet?
No, I mean, I know we are really, I spent the last like year and a half really building up our system by which we deliver our,
Yes.
you know, work product to our client. And so, and really, what's the word? I have COVID brain. Something reducing the, you know, the cost we spend on the different software, and really, I can't think of the word, but anyway, you know. And so I feel really good about the technology we're using and how we're using it for efficiency's sake.
Yes.
I think, yeah, just what you said made me realize like I already have the answer now. Like now that you said that, I'm like, I already have the answer, because
Okay.
there's a whole like group of tasks that I'm sick of doing, and no one on my team has the skill to do it. And so that's what I need to hire for, like fractionally as a contractor. So it's just like solve my whole problem immediately.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I would suggest start out with a contractor.
Yep.
Start out with a contractor. If they fit your culture and the way you work, then you start pouring into them a bit more, give them more tasks, more responsibility.
Yeah.
And like maybe Evan and Lauren can speak to how I have done that with them, because they both started out as contractors. So Evan, would you like to chime in?
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's like invaluable. It's hard to assess like what it means when you can like feel that your boss is really like investing in you. So that kind of like twofold will help with your situation, where it's like, one, this is going to bring someone on who's going to free up your time and just sort of the general stress level you have. Because ultimately, you know, hitting financial goals can kind of be looked at as like whether it's like increasing sales or sort of like fine tuning the money that's coming out of your business. It sounds like you've done the latter already. So the goal here is to free up your time and your stress level so that you can be doing more of the like bigger picture stuff that is going to ultimately like generate more sales. And then also like, yeah, the more that's going to help in the short term. And then if you find someone that really is a good fit, like culturally in terms of like how your values align, that, you know, that's a very like noticeable thing on their end, that like they're seeing that like, hey, you brought me on as a contractor. I showed interest in doing X, Y, and Z that was outside of the initial scope of work that you hired me for. That's going to just, you know, it's like sort of, it almost works in like a like mentor, like mentee sort of way, where it's like it's really helping you in the short run, but this person is also, the more that you invest in them, the more they're going to be invested in your business. And then, you know, maybe down the line, this is like another like Liz person in this business, where like they're so invested in it that like they're willing to start doing more bigger picture stuff like you're doing, that can either, you know, be like someone that's working side by side with you, or if you want to even scale back even more of what your time investment is, the business, they can sort of like help fill that role as well.
Exactly. So what it does, it alleviates, not alleviates, it helps you to be able to transition some of the work that you've been doing to a team member and allow them to be able to grow in their role. And then they in turn help you increase sales, which increases profit because they're working more efficiently, right? So I think that's a good way to transition a contractor. I don't know, Lauren, if you have any input on that.
Yeah, like something that stuck out to me, and since I kind of grew from one role to a completely different one, like starting off as a bookkeeper and then going to more client-facing services, I think something that Michelle did really well was try to understand what we want as individuals and how we could continue to serve the purpose of the company, by kind of moving us into roles that more so fit what we wanted and desired, but also fit into the overall like goals and purpose of the business. And so if you have people that may have a desire to do something outside of their current roles, it could serve you in ways maybe that you didn't think about. So to take that inventory of like what your team is good at, and I think you did a lot of that through some personality tests and different conversations, and I don't even remember what they're all called, strength finders, and sometimes taking those things kind of illuminate strengths that maybe you as a person didn't even realize you had within yourself. And so then that really does add so much more value when you can kind of move people around into where they would excel the most, and then they would be even more invested in addition to kind of what Evan was saying, is how you're investing in them, but then also you really care about them also having fulfillment for what they're doing for you. So I do think, like, as you work on shifting people from that contractor to full-time role, those are major things that you can think through to make sure that they're in the role that serves both of you in a way.
Yeah, so I hope that was helpful. Liz said her audio went out, so hopefully she heard that.
I did. Thank you. I'm
Okay.
sorry, my internet was unstable for a second, but I heard. Thank you so much. And I actually have to run to another meeting, but this was really helpful.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
All right, no problem.
Hi, Liz.
All right, Sherry, did you have a question?
Okay. I guess this is going to be more of a strategy situation because we're more than halfway through the year. And like I said, I'm looking to create revenue where we are. However, I don't know that I can service what I intended to set out, what I intended at when this year started.
Okay.
Like I can only operate at a minimum. So what would I need to do, or how would I work with your team in that way? If that makes sense.
Yeah, so you're saying you have a capacity issue, like for your own personal work?
I have a capacity issue, yes, for my own personal work, yes.
Okay. And because of that capacity issue, you're not able to hit your revenue goals, right?
Correct.
So you need a strategy around what to do instead.
Correct.
So you can maintain revenue in your business, and continue on with business, even though you have a challenge for capacity.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so working with us, like, especially with me and Lauren, it sounds like more of strategy thing with you, and developing that plan on how you can do that, and how you can bring in revenue to your business without taxing more onto your own personal capacity. We just need to be able to do it strategically and in a way that is in alignment with the way you want to grow, even though you are not going to be available in a larger capacity in doing it. So helping you grow outside of you having to personally do some of the work due to other challenges that you're having. Yeah, so
Yes.
I think that would be the way to go. And it's basically, how do you leverage like the services you already provide to your clients, and then maybe who or what. So a who is maybe a contractor, you know, on a very, and you could also, I'm just thinking, you know, it could be a percentage thing and not necessarily a paid thing, you know, because they're helping you bring in revenue. So they could get a percentage when you win something, they get paid through that commission, basically.
Okay.
So helping you in that way. So you're still bringing in revenue, but you're paying out, you know, 15, 20% commission, and it's not taxing your capacity. Now, if you have an issue with capacity and delivering to your client, maybe we need to work on your client journey a little bit before you bring in a salesperson to bring the revenue in. Work on that client journey, because I know my number one goal is always to have the client be serviced well, even in my absence. So I believe in my team, and I believe they can do everything that I do at the standard and the level that I would do it. And that's creating that team culture. So maybe for you, the first start is to work on that client journey, and with you not being in that system of delivering the client journey and how you can make that happen. The other thing is, do you have anybody working with you right now on your team?
I do have well, she's not so virtual, but I have a virtual assistant.
Okay.
But she's local, so
Okay.
like today we met up.
Okay. Yeah. So what are some, like, we can brainstorm about what could she be taking off your plate and like helping in that client delivery process, so that's not so taxing on your capacity. And then strategically pricing it in a way that makes sense, right? That makes sense for you, giving that value to the client, as well as it's actually priced so you can bring that profit into the business so you can pay for these extra things, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I think, you know, what you were saying to, was it Liz that was the one?
Liz. Mm-hmm.
Liz, about, you know, whether it's technology or a person. Yeah, I got all the technology, but I definitely would need assistance with, like you said, visiting the customer journey so that I don't have to be in it necessarily, and then preparing my VA to be able to run it behind the scenes to some capacity. So I would definitely appreciate some insight and working on that.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be, I mean, that's not accounting. Like we're an accounting company, but that's not accounting, but it's part of it, because if the operations of the business is not working efficiently and you know, you're squeezing those expenses so you can produce the revenue that you desire, I mean, the profit that you desire, working on the operations of the business and that client journey, making sure the clients are happy and things are being delivered in the way you would deliver them, is still part of accounting. Because to me, the financial statements are the center point of every function that happens in the business, because it is the result of how all the other functions actually work.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is pretty key. And for you, I would start with the client journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
And then with you also is pricing. We need a powerful pricing strategy so that you're pricing for profit, which means that you're pricing to deliver results to the client that still generates profit for your business. And then there's enough for the operations and the profit as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, last thing, I'm gonna have to run in about 10 minutes. I can hang
Okay.
in here for a few, but I believe you sent me a link to your calendar. Is that how I would get started working with you?
Yeah.
Just go to that calendar
Yeah,
link?
Just
Okay,
go to the calendar link. Yeah.
okay.
Thank you. for
Thank you.
asking.
Awesome
I
team, by the
appreciate
way.
it. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I see we have, is it Alka joining us? I don't know if you want to talk, but so we just answered a few questions from the audience about, what they're going through right now. The goal of these roundtables is to answer questions. So we will come prepared to talk about a subject. And today we were going to talk about mid-year review. Oh, you're having, okay, audio. That's fine. You can email me your questions and we'll get the answer back to you. I'm sorry your audio is not working right now. That's okay. But the goal of our monthly financial empowerment roundtables is to answer your questions. So if you join our email list, we will send you a link. Sorry, our Zoom link malfunctioned this month. I don't know what happened, but technology, right? So I'm glad that we did have a few people join, but in your email sequences, there will be a questionnaire form where you can submit your questions in advance, and we will answer any questions that people submit in advance, along with answering questions for people who are live. And we will send out a link to the replay on this, just in case you miss it. So be watching out for that. So that's what we will be doing on a monthly basis. And I believe it's the second Wednesday of the month at 1 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing this. So if my team wants to have something to say as we wrap this up, go for it. If you don't, that's fine. But we're glad to have people come, and I hope this thing really grows and kicks off, because we really want, our job is to educate business owners on financial literacy. That is my job. I want you to understand how the things that you're doing in your business impacts your financials and how we can make improvements. So our team here is able to, one, do your financials for you. We will do your accounting and bookkeeping work for you, but we also have business advising as well. So like, I've been through a lot as a business owner. I know a lot. I can impart a lot of information on you about being a business owner. And the hurdles, like today we were talking about how I hired, because 5 years ago, Evan was working part-time, like 5 hours a week, and I had no one else on my team. And now we have a team of 6. So it can happen, and you can grow profitably. I promise you. You just got to get the systems in place, work on that client journey first, work on pricing, and you will be able to get there and add the people to your team that you need. So when challenges come up, as far as capacity goes, you know exactly what to do to continue with the business the way you want it to, right? So that is our job here at Mitchell Consulting, is really to help bridge the gap between your passion and your profit. And we do this through the knowledge that we share on these roundtables, and they're free. So next month, please invite a friend to come and join us. And today I'm going to leave you with, we just developed this key terminology, key terms in the financial consulting space. So I'm going to give that to you today. And basically it tells you, like, what's a bookkeeper? What's an accountant? What's a CFO? What's a controller? And how does that all fit into your business? And when do you need each of these things? And then at the end of it, there's some key terms that you need to know as a business owner for finances, right? So we just wanted to share that with you so we can increase your financial intellect. And if you have questions, if you want a consultation, at the end of that terms, there's a link. Just fill it out and you can get on our calendar and we can talk to you individually about your business. So I just want to say thank you for showing up. We really appreciate it. And next month, join us again. We'll be talking about something different. So thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good
Thanks.
afternoon.
Everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.